I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
YouTube Nation, what is going on, ESGN Nation? Welcome to a special video here. I want to just do a quick little well, I don't know how quick it's gonna be actually, but we're gonna do a little video here talking about the draft, and we're gonna kind of recap here. So obviously, if you've seen the actual off-season video that we had for the Buffalo Bills, obviously I announced that we are gonna have a little recap here. So we're gonna go through team by team. I don't know how long this video is gonna take, but we're gonna go by team. We're gonna check out some things with certain. Maybe not every single team, but for the most part here, I did show you guys some of the players that were in the draft that got drafted by the obviously our divisional rivals, the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots. But I want to go into detail more so with the rest of the other teams around the league. There's and not to mention I'm really curious about. I'm sure some of you guys are if you follow our Highland Scotties series. But I'm really kind of curious about where some of our players went in that particular series as well. I try to get every obviously there's a video out there also too along with this out there with every single pick in the draft, and I think I've missed a couple of the picks, or I kind of went through them kind of quickly. I try to edit it as best I possibly could to see where some of the players are from that Highland Scotties series that we had from year one, and see where those players went to. So in today's video here, we're going to be checking out here. We're obviously going to check out who the highest overall player is, and then kind of look around some certain teams that were in the playoffs last year, and of course some of some of the popular teams in the last couple of years. So obviously Cowboys, they made made it to the championship, the NFC championship game last year. Were of course defeated by the Rams. We'll see where what Rams players they picked, who the Rams picked up as players they drafted, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs, as well as some other teams that I'm kind of just want to see. I think Browns made a pretty good splash, and I believe the Bears, they made a big splash in the free agency, if you guys remember from our video. But we'll try to see what they try to do there in the draft. We'll see if they may need put any kind of different picks in their draft selection from just from this first year draft that we just had. Let's go ahead and get into it right now. Hopefully I've added some music to this, I promise you. I'm trying to figure out how to record, for the most part, how to record game audio from this. I could not remember how to. I had to actually go up on YouTube and look it up. I'm like, oh wow, I'm stupid. I used to do this all the time with my golf series. So let's take a look at the overall here. So the highest overall in the draft is Terrence Blair. If you guys don't remember, he was a very good deep threat for us in the Highland Scotties series. He wasn't wide receiver number one, but I decided, and of course talking with my buddies who helped me make this draft this year, I said that a lot of Highland Scotties players I didn't want to be crazy. I didn't want them to be I wanted a handful of them to be first round guys, like maybe 4 or 5 players, and then have the rest of them kind of trickle down to the latter part of the second round, and then a bunch of them in the in the third, fourth rounds, and then of course we had a couple that were kind of non-draftable, but I told them to kind of mix it up and have some fun with it. I wanted them to. I mentioned in the video, and I think I mentioned it before in a couple of videos beforehand, that our draft class, we're going to really have fun with it. We're going to make sure that we throw some stuff in there with players that can play on both sides of the ball. And then obviously, just kind of do some trickery here, make you guys, think about it more, and, make some because there's some really good picks out there that you guys can really can look at. And I'm telling you now, you're not gonna get every single pick you want, but there are gonna be some guys out there from the Highland Scotties team that can actually do pretty well. There are gonna be some pretty good players there. Of course, we didn't want to make them all great. I told them I didn't want nobody over 80, like 85 overall was gonna be the highest. So if they're around that, if they're 85 overall, I pretty much said that they're an X Factor type of player. And I wanted to make sure that we, that it was fun. That it was fair, but at the same time it was fun. You would have fun, and they would be a great asset to your franchise if you happen to use this particular class. Remember the class down below in the description here. That's the name of the class. It's ESGNet Class 1. Or Madden Class 1, I can't remember exactly the name, but you can download it here on the PS5. It's a draft class. We've actually updated it with some new stuff, so we added some newer. We changed a little few things here and there, so it's not as accurate as this one that we just had, because we've changed it like half a dozen, or at least close to a dozen times, just to kind of really for my sake. To really make me, have to do some investment and look at players deeper in the draft, your 3rd, 4th, 5th round guys, stuff like that. But Terrence Blair, going back to him, deep threat player, great player. I really enjoyed him. He wasn't our number one wide receiver out there, but he did do a lot of great things. I believe in the 2nd or 3rd year of the Highland Scotties series. And like I said, this is from the first class that would have graduated, which would have been in season 2 or 3. 3, I think it was 3. Yeah, we'll take a look here at his. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats there. So he's a normal dev, 82 overall. He has a -1 because of morale. I don't know why that is the case. The issue is, but he's seen as a deep threat, and he was a really good player. It was deep. He could run very well, as you can tell. Obviously, you can tell here. Great catch, short route. He had an amazing, obviously deep route combination. That's what I wanted to do in this one, and I think he has a really good future. I know in my when I drafted him on Madden 25, the game that goes with it goes with NCAA 14. He actually drafted. He was actually in the top 15 I can't remember exactly where he drafted at when we did it, but he was a top 15 player. Yeah, he was definitely a player that was making. And of course we simmed like 5 years into the future, and he was doing pretty well. So I'm assuming that he'll try it. We'll see him do the same here. I think at some point here he probably will have room to do some development there. There are some areas in his game that he'll need help with. Obviously, the catching traffic, not the greatest, and of course his release is not the best. But I think for the most part here, I think he'll do very well for a guy who's looking for something deep threat. This is definitely a project player that you can put out there and get him trained up and see him do some great things there. And I cannot wait to see how he does with the Cowboys there, with a great with Dak and some other great weapons there they have there. Hopefully he does not become other wide receivers that came to Dallas that just did abysmal and did so great. But yeah, I cannot wait to see how he does. Once he gets himself going here in this season. Let's see. Let's just continue going a little overalls here. The second overall, of course, Wendell K. Son. Oh my goodness, this was awesome. Wendell K. Son was by far, he was our guy who won the Heisman our first year when existing as a Division I school. And 82 overall. I will tell you now, I told the guys when we were creating him, I was like, he has to be an X factor. And I don't want to say this, but I think he might be the coming of Barry Sanders, because look where he's at. He's with the Lions, and he has that same. I think personally, and I'm biased, obviously. 5'9", 189 pounds, rookie from obviously Highland's not in the game, but the school I actually went to, I actually graduated from Emporia State's in the game. So if you're looking for any Highland Scotties players in this particular draft class, that's where the school they'll be at. They'll be going from, their college will be Emporia State. But if you take a look here, great. See, look at it. Speed's awesome. Acceleration's great. So he's gonna definitely go through the line. If you cannot catch him or stop him at first couple, he can break tackles pretty well there too. So he might be a guy that might be slipping through your hands. But there you see agility. I mean, for his core attributes there, he's amazing. He's gonna be a great player. Huge asset there for much for this team here, and something they can build around here. Hopefully they don't, they get some offensive linemen to help him out. But I think for the most part here, I think he will do great. And I really feel like he has those attributes just kind of like a Barry Sanders out there. He wasn't intended to be that way. And I kind of laughed about it when I was cracking up laughing when I seen he was drafted. I'm like, oh wow, I cannot believe it. Like he was drafted this team, and first thing I thought was Barry. So but there you see catch, pretty decent. Now route running, not his best. They're obviously there. He's a halfback, so we didn't run him too much, we didn't throw the ball too often to him in the Highland Scotties series. So I try to mirror that as best I could. But short. I want to make him at least somewhat decent, somewhat. He can catch for the most part here. But there you see his route running there as well. Like I said, we didn't throw the ball, or didn't have him throw to him too often. So his route running is not going to be the best. Obviously, run blocking and all that. He's running. Pass blocking, not the greatest. And then of course kick return, injury. He was always on the field for the most part there, and great stamina as well. But at release wise, he can definitely put some distance between him and his defender very, very well. We'll see. Day one starters. That's how they have him tagged. So that's gonna be nice. I cannot wait to see him. I don't know what the schedule is, but if we have to play him this year, this is going to be a challenge right here. This definitely is going to be something I'm going to be looking forward to quite a bit. Let's go ahead and get back into the overalls here. Okay, now this player here, this is really got me going. We've kind of talked about him briefly throughout the season. Terry Wolf. Now, he was not a part of the Highland Scotties series at all. There is a quarterback coming up, I think maybe in draft class number 3, that's from Kansas, that if you guys remember from the Highland Scotties series, I had nightmares with him, to say the least here. Trying not to cuss here, but he was a pain in the butt. Now Terry Wolf, this player in particular was not in part of the Highland Scotties series, so this is a completely random completely computer generated player that Madden created. But there you take a look here. He's with the Seahawks. He is their 3rd pick in the 1st round, and he's 80 overall. I believe he has a hidden dev here. I don't know exactly what it is, but I mean, he has a pretty good strong arm here. So he's a player that can stay in the pocket and be able to go down the field here, and I'm really impressed. But the reason why I was laughing, because I'm like, Kansas. I'm like, really, like, is that Grabels or Gerber? I think it was Gerber. I think it was the player's name was Gerber. I was sitting thinking, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, did I actually put him in the draft class here? But we went back and looked. I'm like, no, that was not him. This is completely computer generated player. Kansas, go for it, whatever. We're gonna stick with it. But yeah, hidden dev, 6'5", 234 pounds, and he's a rookie, obviously. Look at that throw power there. Oh, jeez, beautiful throw power. It looks like he can throw deep as well. And then of course you see break sacks. So he's pretty good in his core for the most part here. I don't know where to compare him. Obviously his tag is a franchise QB, day 1 starter. So looks like they're kind of going away from their quarterback. I can't remember who their quarterback, Seattle's quarterback was last year. Oh my goodness. Can't think of his name. But now it looks like they're going to go to this young man here. So, and of course the coach, the head coach there for Seattle, he retired in the off season. So they're making some changes here. I guess the first change they're going to make is the quarterback, and I think they got a pretty good quarterback here for the future. I cannot wait to see him more. We don't play Seattle this season, I don't believe, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he looks like he has some pretty good numbers there. Looks like he's pretty talented. So he's ranked 15th in the quarterbacks this season. So he's in the top 11 of quarterbacks rated 80 overall. So we'll see what Terry Wolf can do there for Seattle. All right, so as we take a look here, we'll just kind of go down the line here. Rossman, they're the power rusher, outside linebacker there for the Houston Texans. We'll take a look at his 6'3", 267 pounds, from Auburn. He was not a player that was from the Highland Scotties series, so he is definitely a computer generator there. But hidden dev, he's a power rusher. You see his player archetypes there. Take a look at his core attributes: 77 overall, 77 tackle, great hit power, pursuit's great, acceleration, speed. So I mean, he is definitely going to be a beast for the Texans there. And I know the Texans did not play so well, at least in my series here this first year. So they're really amping up on the defensive side of things, and looks really nice. Of course, they didn't make so many big splashes in free agency. Even though they did have quite a bit of money, if I remember correctly, I don't think they made too many pickups when it comes to free agency there. So this is definitely a fresher breath, a new breath of fresh air for them. They're going to be doing very well for themselves, and I cannot wait to see what their defense is going to like. Because, like I said, this young man looks like a pretty promising player. Day 1 starter there. Looks like he's got pretty much everything he wants when it comes to motivation and his tags, with the exception of the scheme fit. Doesn't really too much like it, but I think for the most part, I think that's going to be really helpful for the Houston Texans. We'll move on. We'll see the second pick here, Joey Bradley. For the Lions, left in there for them. 72 overall, actually 73 overall, but remember morale for whatever reason is down by 1. Also hidden dev, so that's nice. So there, I mean, there's already 2 hidden devs. We know of at least one for them is Wendell Cason, who is I told you guys I already know his because I was the one who created him in that, and he's an X Factor superstar. So they have that, and then of course they have this guy here. So Lions looking pretty good, you know, on this draft so far here. And of course, remember, I believe Cason was a second round. He dropped. I had purposely put him near the bottom of the first round into the second round, just a simple fact, because you know there was some stuff I had knocked him off of because of the catching and just the route running there. But there you see Joey Bradley, his numbers. We'll take a look at his secondary numbers there. Really good pursuit, good impact blocking. What else? Toughness, stamina. But you know, of course, block shedding, play recognition is something he's got to work on. Of course, awareness as well. That's not hard. I mean, you get him a couple of work on him. You know, if you're with the Lions, you get 6 spots to train players, get extra XP and stuff like that. So I think by the end of the year here, he would be definitely a really good player, having those, especially worked on those types of areas in his game. That would really help him out a lot, and he would definitely, you know, mid 70s by the end of the season. He would definitely be someone that would be a huge threat for the Lions. I think even season 2 of his career. Take a look at his motivations and tags. Day 1 starter. So there you see there. Scheme fit he doesn't really care for. Of course, mentor at position. There's no player tagged right now, but I'm sure the Lions will try to find somebody to help him out and kind of mentor him to play that position. Of course, we already said something about Wolf there. Diggs, Michael Diggs. Now, remember, this is a player that I told you guys that I was in our draft preview. This is a player that I was really hoping to go after, but you know, we had the Lions, or well, not the Lions. We had the Bears 6th round pick in the first round, and so I figured, I'm like, yeah, if by the look at the mock draft, if the Cardinals pick him up, we're not going to be able to get him. But let's take a look here. Michael Diggs, he is going to be a superstar dev. Look at that. Superstar dev beast. 6'5", 308 pounds from Oregon State. He was not a part of the Highland Scotties series at all. But we'll take a look at his numbers there. And there you see 85 for him. And then, of course, his strength, nice strength, run blocking, and all that could be easily fixed for him, just working on with him and kind of focus the training on him in the season. But for the most part here, I really feel like there's a good opportunity for him for that Lions or for the Cardinals offense there to really protect their QB and really get him going and show off the type of star he is. Take a look there. There you see his secondary attributes there. Not great speed, but that's fine. You know, he is an offensive lineman, but acceleration is really good, so he can get off the line pretty quickly there and whatnot. And of course, he has great awareness as well. So not a bad deal there for them. But like I said, I was really trying my best to get a hold of him. And then you see he has a slot ability slot there. He can lock it at 75 overall. So we'll see how long it takes him to get there. But there you see the great weather there he likes. But then of course he wants to be close to home. And of course the coach's winning percentage at 44%. So that is something they're going to have to work on to kind of keep him motivated there. But they have him for 4 years, so they got plenty of time to really do some special stuff out there. All right, next up is the 5th round pick for the Falcons, and this is one of our players from the Highland Scotties series. I told you there's, you know, like I said, you know, a few guys here and there. So far, I think this is the first one we had in the first round. Donovan Marquardt, this kid was just a great outside linebacker. We had him play quite a bit on both sides, left and right. I think that final season, if I remember correctly, he did play a middle linebacker there for us. Speed rusher. Take a look here, normal dev. So he's definitely a player that could he may not be a hidden dev of any sorts here, but he is definitely a player that could definitely help you out. He's a player that can be a roster spot there that you can develop and train and get him that next level to be a star or superstar or whatever, however he can be. But he's definitely a player, like I said, a project player that you can work on for a while and get him going by just training him the right, proper way. But you see his numbers. Man coverage not the greatest, and of course you see the rest of his attributes. But great speed, great acceleration for his size there, and then of course great pursuit, and then play recognition, kind of hurting in that area, and the same thing with the tackling, not great at tackling. But yeah, he is, like I said, great player, and of course zone coverage there. But yeah, he is set up for really to be a guy that can go in there and just be a speed rusher and just come in and just create some havoc there in the backfield there for you. So like I said, just got to kind of work on some things there. Day one starter, so that's gonna be nice for the Falcons there. He has no problem being in Atlanta, and of course being in Georgia, and of course Falcons obviously a huge underdog when it comes to the Super Bowl chase, but I think he'll be a good piece. I think he's going to be a good corner piece for them for years to come, for them to get back into that playoff mode again. All right, let's keep going on down. Of course, we talked about him already in the video. We'll take a look at him. This is our first round pick, Tyreek Flemings. He was not part of the Highland Scotties series, but this is a player I really had an eye on. We had two choices. We had, we couldn't get Michael Diggs there because I figure I'm like, okay, Cardinals are obviously gonna pick him. He's gonna be that first pick. We'll see how things come about and whatnot. Obviously, it fell in their possession. Nice for them. So I decided to say, okay, we want to do something defensively here. We want to work. I want to really kind of work on my middle line or our linebacker core. We obviously lost Edmonds over the free agency and stuff, so I want to kind of have somebody kind of at least find somebody that can not necessarily be the next Edmonds, but be a guy that can come and step in here and make an impact very quickly. I think Flemings is going to be a guy that can do that. 6'3", 230 pounds from Clemson. He is a pass coverage guy. But at the same time, looks like he's pretty good at. He's pretty much a field general right now. But we kind of want to mold him to that pass coverage that kind of fit our scheme. So that's something we can work over in some time. Of course, he's a hidden dev, so we have to get him down, get him to play 500 downs before we can get him unlocked. I imagine he's probably going to be. I would say it's probably a star dev for the most part here. I think he'll be a star. And like I said, that's great. That's great starting point here. Because this upcoming season we're going to be in, I think we'll be good enough to get to the playoffs, and I think it'll be more so because of our offensive play, because we still got a lot of our offensive players intact for the most part. We lost a couple players here. We lost Dawson Knox and a couple other players there offensively. I think that's the biggest one we lost off the side of things. Defensive side is going to be really tricky because we lost. We traded White, we traded Micah. So defensively, it's gonna be a struggle. But I think with some new faces here that we have, young guys at that, they're gonna be around here for the next couple of years. We can make a good playoff run. I would like to go, go back to the Super Bowl a second time. Go back to back. But I think the defense is gonna be a tricky thing for us. And obviously, I'm looking at possibly trying to find a free safety in the free agency pool. But you know, it's gonna be tough. If we do, it'll probably be a veteran of some sort. They're gonna probably ask for quite a bit of money. But right now, we got so many corners right now that can do so much work for us. That's what we're kind of doing, and that's why in the video that you guys seen there, our normal video, off-season video, you know, that's what we're doing. We're gonna kind of move guys around and make sure we get those positions filled there. So we're just gonna kind of play, you know, just kind of rotate some of the corners there, see who plays better at that position, at the free safety position, and just go from there. But we already seen, you guys already seen his numbers here. I mean, pretty good numbers there. Great, you know, speed, tackle, hit power, pursuit, acceleration. Needs help in block shedding, play rec, and then of course zone coverage there. And then of course there you see some of his others there as well. Of course he can stay on the field there really well. Injury's not going to be an issue there. Stamina might be a little bit, but for the most part here, he's pretty healthy and pretty good guy. Of course, he wants to stay close to home. You know, he's in New York, upstate New York. He's from Ohio, but there you see scheme fit, not one he's looking for right now. And of course, you know, he's a future star. But you know, we're gonna see what he does. He's gonna be probably involved in a lot of our defensive schemes quite a bit here. So we'll just see how he does, you know, in the preseason and stuff like that. And just, like I said, we're gonna kind of move guys around, see what they do best, and just see what they can do to help out the team as best as they can. All right, let's keep moving down here. Oh, okay. So this one right here, then we'll kind of go from team to team here. Just kind of want to look at the first 10 players here. So Nate Mann, run stopper for Wisconsin, defensive tackle. I believe he was in the Highland Scotties series. Not for sure. Okay, yes, he was. 6'6", 316. He won several awards his last year with Wisconsin. Did a really good job there with the Badgers. Helped them to 2 bowl games that was very successful for them. But there you see run stopper, and then of course there you see more of a scheme fit for them would be a run power rusher. Take a look here. Strength, really good strength. Block shedding is not bad at all. Tackle, it's not bad. Play rec and speed, acceleration. But areas you got to work on, of course, for him is his finesse, his awareness, and of course his power moves. And then take a look at some of his secondary attributes and stuff like that. Hit power and agility are some of the things to work on. You know, when he was on the board there, and I'm like, oh man, we should take a defensive lineman of some sort because we're looking at defensive tackles. But you know, I was like, no, we got to work. You know, that's the thing. Like when you see these players, you're like, oh, I want to grab him, but you know, you can't get everybody you want. I do, you know, in a perfect world, it'd be nice. And of course, you have to worry about budgets. But yeah, he is definitely going to be, I'm not looking forward to playing against them. You know, he's our division. He is going to be a player that's going to be trying to cause a lot of havoc, try to get a hold of our running backs, obviously, in that interior line. But most importantly, also, he's going to be somebody that's going to be terrorizing our QB. So I do apologize to our QB quite a bit because yeah, it's not gonna look too good when we have especially our offensive line plays like they were last year. Towards the end there, they were just giving up just sacks just like crazy. So yeah, trying to keep him in line, Nate Mann, and not let him get a hold of our QB is going to be something. I'm not looking forward to that at all. Quincy Moore, the Jets player, first round, 8th pick of the draft. There you see 73 overall. Let's take a look at him. Normal dev, not bad at all. Left tackle there Florida, 6'6", 325 pounds, 23 years of age. Let's take a look at his, what is he? He's a power type of guy. There you see his core numbers there. Great strength, decent run block power, and of course pass power as well. Lead blocking not bad at all. Awareness is really great. But the areas he kind of lacks in is the pass blocking, run blocking finesse, and pass blocking finesse. And of course, there you take a look at his speed, not the greatest. Acceleration, kind of, moderate. Has a little bit of a kick, little pep in his step. And then of course, agility, not the best there. But for the most part here, he looks like a really great guy for them to kind of just something they can build around. And of course, there you see his motivations there. He's a day one starter, so he definitely just get there for the Jet or help out the Jets from day one. Yeah, he is definitely going to be a player that it's going to be kind of probably difficult for us, our offensive line, to good matchup to a lot of the guys that we have. So we'll see how well the rookie does protecting his QB, and how often we can get kind of rough him up and overpower him there. But I think for the most part, 73 overall, not bad at all for them. That was a good draft pick for them. Because we did kind of ruin their offensive line there. I think it was that last game that we played. All right, now we have to get to I skipped over Rodgers there. I believe you'll see he's a Texans there. He's a 77 overall, normal dev. But the guy I want to get to here that we're going to talk about here, and we'll move on to some other players here. But Alex Flanagan, he was my QB. He was my rock for that first 3 seasons that he was with us before he decided to go pro. Alex Flanagan, remember, he was our QB. That last year was really tough for him because he kept getting hurt. I believe that Georgia game, he got hurt. He got banged up quite a bit, and then also I think Hunter Cannon got hurt. He was out for a while there too as well. But there you see, he is going to, look, of all teams, he's going to my team. He's going to the Colts. 6'1", so he's not really that tall, but 211. General, he's a field general here. A little bit of a scrambler. If you remember, he could take off pretty well and get down the field. But you take a look here, his throw power, great. His accuracy, now we'll talk about that. His deep accuracy, he could not, he could anything more than 30 yards or so. Well, I don't know what you consider. I mean, I guess 30 yards would be pretty good, but anything more than 30 yards, he was horrible. So that is something that the Colts are going to really have to really work on him with. But his short and medium passing game, superb. I mean, great. He can throw passes very, very well. I believe he's a hidden dab. I told the guys, honestly, I did not want him to be an X Factor superstar. I wanted him to be a star, just kind of just start off. So I don't know where they put him at in that since I see him as a star dev. That's why I would have put him as if I was creating him and whatnot. But there you see a great awareness. Great. He was excellent on if he was not hurried and not rushed to throw passes on the run. I mean, he's pretty decent there. 82 there in the throw and run. And at Crace, we ran a lot of play action with the Highland Scotties there. But if he is, if he can plant his feet very well with him, the throw on the run is by far, but he's definitely miraculous. Like, he can do some crazy stuff when he's throwing on the run. He's not rushed or getting hit as he's throwing the football there. If he's solid and can plant his feet and not off balance too much, he is great at throwing the football down the field. Not so deep, but in the mid, and short route, short accuracy. He is by far a great player there. So if you're looking for some short yardage there, Yeah, especially the play action there. Whew, this is your guy right here. But of course, you see great speed, great acceleration, agility, carrying, great runner. I remember I think a story I told you guys in for that series. He did play running back in high school, so he has some decent running back abilities there as well. But yeah, he just changed direction, all that kind of stuff there. So he is definitely going to be a player that I really feel like the future starter. I think he'll be sitting on the bench here for the first year, just kind of taking notes and seeing what he can do. But for the most part here, day one starter if need be. But he will have some growing pains, just like he did in college. He helped us win, our first. He played. I mean, even though we lost in the first championship game that we were in for year one, where we snuck in there and went to the BCS game against Alabama, he did a great job against Alabama. Unfortunately, he threw 2 picks, especially one pick towards the end there, which kind of ruined it. If I remember that correctly, that last pick that he threw, it would end up being a pick 6 going the other way, and Alabama, that kind of sealed the deal for Alabama getting the win. But yeah, I mean, if you guys, if this is a player that you're looking for, a QB you're looking for to develop, and maybe get ready for, maybe make a start in season 2, maybe I would say probably season 3. He's definitely the guy for the draft there. And I think that's a good pick there for the Colts. Damian Adams is another player there. The Giants picked him up. He's a great man-to-man. He was just knocking balls around, batting things away for us in the Highland Scotties series. So that's like 3 players we've had in the top here in the 2 players in the top 10, and this I believe was number 11 here. Let's see. At least Highland Scotty players. We're just talking about those players in particular. So 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 in the top. So far, we've seen 3 in the top 15, 2 in the top 10. So that's not bad. I'm kind of glad my buddies did that. Because that was a big debate on, when you want to create your own draft class, it's always you're always making that debate. Like, do you want to put obviously you want to, you're being biased. You want to put your players that you really enjoy playing in the series. You want them to do well. But I was trying to do, the idea of my thinking was, okay, in the game in NCAA, once you get through your off season and they show your draft results, I was trying to match those as close as I could to this here, put them in this game here, but also kind of docking them because, obviously they're 99 overall, they graduate, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was trying to knock them down at least 20 points from where they were at. So if obviously they're 99 overall, the highest would be 79. That would be the kind of the cap. 79 overall would be the cap, with some exceptions. Obviously if you want some awards and whatnot, or there was something unique or special. And that's why I kind of like with Terrence there, you've seen he was 83 overall, but he was not he doesn't have a special dev trait or anything. He's just normal. So it's going to be a little harder for him to get to that dev trait, that star dev trait that you want to see him get to. So like I said, there was a lot of things that factor into this. It's not perfect at all. So, but like I said, majority of players you see in this draft, I would say probably I would say a little more, almost 80% of these players are computer generated players. The rest of them, I just went in there and I just figured out, okay, he on the game, on NCAA, he was a round 3, round 2 guy. Let's try and make him a late round 2, early 3, and just see where we're gonna stick him at, and just kind of, change, go in there, change the position, add and put the name in, all that kind of stuff, and then just kind of, based on his position, what kind of traits does he have, and kind of move stuff around, and then just try to do our best, either bump him up a few points or maybe dock him up a few more points or whatever the case may be. So that's what we try to do. And like I said, it's not great. It's not scientific. It's not the best way of doing it. But you know, over time, we're gonna try to get a little bit better at this. And obviously, you know, if this was, you know, we have the newest NCAA game, which I'm really hoping in the future here, this time next summer, I'm really hoping that we can transfer players from that college game to Madden, like you could back in, you know, way back in the day. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. But David Adams, like I said, a great player, great man-to-man player. We'll see. I would imagine we put him. He was a great star. He wasn't a superstar in college, but he was a great star. He's one of those names I really talked about quite a bit in the videos, stuff like that. But I could see him being I could really see him be a star dev. I mean, he's got some talent here. 93 speed at coverage, really good for him. Acceleration, great. But take a look at catching, not the greatest. So, like I said, he could bat balls away, and recognition could have been a little bit better. Let's see, awareness, not too bad. But yeah, he is definitely one of those players. I mean, with his speed, if you can use his speed and get to those, to the, you know, whoever you're trying to cover, and put your hands up, he definitely can do that. He can definitely do that and cause some problems for the opposition there. So, but yeah, great player. A lot of fun with him in the Highland Scotties series, and he was really talented, really talented. And he was he was part of our first year class that we had, that first year that we started there at Highland. So not bad at all. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's go to the Bears. Let's just kind of look around here. Now, Bears, of course, they traded a lot of their draft picks to us. So the first pick they really got to make, because they made a huge splash. They had quite a bit of money in the free agency. But T. Williams, the first player here from Kentucky, 4th round, 6th pick here. We'll see what his numbers look like. So he's he's normal dev. It looks like he's a playmaker here. Good speed with acceleration. So they're trying to look at maybe the future of the wide receiver core. I'm not familiar with their wide receivers, but I know they got a few. Obviously, I believe we traded White to them, so they got a great lockdown on the defensive side of things. But there you see short, medium route running, normal. Really got to work on the deep routes, because he's a playmaker there. So he's 66 overall if he is a deep route type of player. But yeah, spectacular catches there, jumping. His agility is great. Change direction, juke moves. But yeah, he's definitely a player that they could work on and train and do well there, and make an impact with him. And future starter right there. So maybe 2 or 3 years down the line here, he'll be a player that they'll be really proud of, and see a good good pick there for them somewhere down the line here. Take a look at their quarterback, Ronald Hollister. He was not a part of the Ohio Scotties series as well. Virginia Tech. So he is an improviser, 6'5", 231 pounds. He has no tag. So he's basically a backup, probably a career backup guy. But again, if you've seen all these other YouTube series out there with other people playing, you could if you work on a player enough and long enough in the series, you can make the worst player in the game be one of the top players in the league. I mean, it just takes some work for them. So, we don't know what is his future. Don't know, but right now, 65 overall. Take a look at his ratings. Throw power 88, active actually 78. Short, passing is great. So he can throw deep and he can throw short, but when it comes down to the mid-range game, he has a little trouble there. So maybe that's some vision trouble maybe he has. in that sort of sense there. But yeah, play action is great. Pressure, under pressure, break tackle, and then of course there you see some of the acceleration as well for him. So not a bad pick there, but definitely will not be making a start anytime soon for the Bears. And then of course there you see the outside linebacker for them, Jordan Cabrera, 6'3", from Minnesota, 249 pounds. Let's take a look here. Tackle, acceleration, speed, not bad at all. Impact blocking, toughness, stamina. Okay, so not bad at all. So a decent guy. Again, a guy that you can work on, get him developed over a couple seasons. Maybe by time he's getting close to that end of his first year, his first contract here in the NFL, he's ready to play. Take a look here. Don Dre Stallsworth, I should say, from Vanderbilt, tight end, vertical threat, 23 years of age. Look at that salary cap there for the Bengals. Wow. So we'll take a look at him. He's a normal dev, which, when I was looking at him as for tight ends, because we're looking for tight ends, because I was going to take at least a tight end that we was going to draft and turn him to. I was looking at possibly getting two tight ends, because we had how things were going to set up in the draft. When I was kind of setting the board up, we were going to try to get a player somewhere in the third round, which we got a decent player. I believe we got Hunter Cannon from the Highland Scotties series there. But I was going to try to pick up one earlier, so maybe in the first late, depending on what we got our first pick, which obviously was a middle linebacker. If the left tackle or the right tackle position was not available, I had a few options there that I was kind of thinking about for maybe taking a left tackle and converting to a right tackle. But then I was like, well, I really could go after we could use a tight end for a fullback and have him go that way and kind of develop from that, from doing that. And he was one of the players I was really had on my list. He was on my short list of players that I wanted to draft. What round was he? Let's see here. Yeah, he was towards the bottom there, so we could easily pick him up. 75 overall, 6'2", 254 pounds, and he's a vertical threat, so he can definitely make a threat. Yeah, he's not the tallest guy at all by far, because there's several other tall guys. I mean, Hunter Cannon, I think it's 6'4". There was a couple guys that were 6'6". But I think he would have been a great person if we got him. He would be a very tall tight end for a fullback. But I think he would definitely help us out in that area there. There you see his core numbers there. Not a bad one there. This is something that I think the Bengals could definitely use. Looks pretty good for them. Pretty decent and not too bad for him to be a part of their squad there. But yeah, he was definitely a guy that was kind of ahead on my short list there. Day one starter, so he can come up right up to the plate and do does what he does best there on the field for the most part there. So yeah, nice job there from them. Now we'll see Blair McCollum. There you see he's our elusive back. He was our backup to Wendell Cason the first 3 seasons. Because remember our Highland Scotties series, we either had them as sophomores, because remember we were a junior college that was coming up to it to be we're coming up to the Division I rankings. Yeah, I know, crazy. But he was our guy that was there. He backed us up. He was a great backup here, and I think he'll be something special in the NFL here. I think he will not be a backup for too long. I think a decent team that can find what he can do. He's a elusive back, so he can definitely do some crazy things in the backfield and really help you out here. We'll take a look at it. I can't remember his numbers exactly, but 6'1", 228 pounds. He went, of course, played for us. Speed, not necessarily the speed that you're looking for. When you're looking for a halfback, you want that 90 plus type of speed. but it's something you can work on over time. It's going to take a while, but he's decent second, a great, a solid backup. If you're looking for a decent backup when in running backs here. Let's take a look here. Let's see. Short route, he's really good at short route. I had a blast throwing to him coming out of the backfield there. He was great in screen passes. Now, trying to go deep or mid-range, you're asking a lot there. That is not going to help you too much when it comes to that situation. So he will definitely need some time in trying to develop. Definitely needs some time to try to develop his game in that sort of way. But yeah, for the most part here, I mean, he was really great for us as a backup there, and it really did a great job there when we were in a bind behind the Scotties there. And I'm hoping that he will do the same for any team, not just the Bengals, but any team he decides to go after in the future here. I think he'll be around the league for quite a while. I'll take a look at his tag. Oh, they say a day one starter, so he's decent enough to make it. He likes the idea with working with Joe Burrow, so that's nice scheme fit. But of course, he's looking for a mentor to kind of help him out and want to step up his game. So we'll see what they can do. Obviously, you got Joe Mixon there, so Mixon obviously going to be the starter there for them. But as a backup, this is a great job for a great pick for them for the first round to kind of help out. And they see him as a day one starter, so yeah, I mean, why not? We'll take a look here. Derek Hirsch from Missouri, wide receiver here. When I was looking at some wide receivers here, we were not looking for wide receivers at all, but I was looking at some of the wide receivers that are coming through this draft. Because I think next year I think there's a pretty good wide receiver core coming in season 2's draft class. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what we were looking at when I was kind of thumbing through or kind of looking at the file on my computer here. But looks like there are going to be some pretty good wide receivers coming through. And now season 2 we will add more Highland Scotties players will be in here. But we're going to add, just like we did in this one, we're going to add a little bit more players that were outside. So players that were outside that we played against, in that draft, particularly that draft class. A lot of schools that we played against, or either we played against them, in the non-conference or conference-wise, and also if we play them, some decent schools or players that I thought were really well. Like, hey, that'd be a good player to put in Madden for our bowl games. National championship game or whatever the case may be, from that particular draft class, we're gonna put them in obviously award winners, stuff like that. So every year we're gonna keep adding more to it. So next year we'll have a little bit more, and then by the time we get to where I'm at right now in Highland Scotties series, which is year 7, we just finished year 7. There should be a huge overhaul. Now you can see a difference between players that we created and then players that the computer will play. And I'm kind of going to try to do a 50-50. Keep 50% still CPU, computer generated, and then also, the other 50% will always come from me and my buddies and I, kind of plopping in players for our particular series and kind of, changing things. But Derek Hurst, I believe he was not. He was. No, he was. He was part of Highland Scotties series. We didn't get to play against Missouri, but I thought he was a good enough player. He was on the radar there for quite a while. He had some pretty good numbers there as you take a look for the most part here, but not bad at all. Let's see here. And we're about an hour into this, and I still haven't got to where I wanted to get to. That's all right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Sheldon Sherman. Let's see. Hang on. Let's go pick before that. I think this was the guy. Yeah. Chad Keaton. He is going to be. When I seen him, like, oh wow, Broncos are going to have fun with him. He's an elusive back, 68 overall. He's going to be a player. I think he's going to be a huge player. I think, really true, I think he's going to be a superstar dev. I really do. Take a look at his numbers there. Speed, acceleration is great. Cannot really break tackles, but he's great at, trying to attempt to try to break tackles. Carrying is going to be great. Juke, spin move, change direction, all that great stuff there. And of course, but the thing is, he's definitely gonna be your downhill runner. He's gonna be your guy that can just come out of the backfield and just explode out of the backfield there. But he can catch. But when it comes down to route running, not the greatest there. Short or mid. I don't think you're seeing deep passing on here. No, I don't think you see that. So he is definitely going to be somebody that you can't really throw the ball too much there. He can at least catch short. He can at least catch this short route and medium route somewhat. But yeah, he's definitely gonna be your guy that just here's the ball, run. So I cannot wait. We don't play the Broncos this season at all. So I'm kind of glad we got to avoid that. This is another reason why I'm kind of glad we don't have to worry about the Broncos this season either, because Sheldon Sherman. This is by far. Oh wow. My thing off my chair fell off. The elbow rest there. All right, Sheldon Sherman. He's so awesome. I'm breaking my chair over here. Sheldon Sherman by far was one of my favorite players for the Highland Scotties series. This guy was a beast. He was a monster. He was just going through offensive lines and just ripping them apart and just creating so much havoc, especially the first 2 years we were independents. We're playing against teams like BYU and other independent schools, and he was just a beast and a monster. And I was so upset that we could not, that we had to give him up. He obviously left. 6'4", 270. Great power. I mean, great, run stopper here. He can just get a hold of a halfback and just, make him submit pretty quickly. I mean, he's a really great player. He fits their scheme fit so well there. This was a great pick for them defensively there. So I really feel bad now for Mahomes in Kansas City when they have to deal with him twice a year. And I think he'll be a difference maker for them. I think this will be a player that would definitely, will definitely change the game in the AFC West there. But take a look at his numbers: speed, acceleration, great tackle, great block shedding, and strength as well. Take a look at his secondary. Oh my goodness, pursuit, hit power. He is just a monster of a man. Let's take a look at his. He's a future starter. Yeah. And of course, he wants to be with a franchise quarterback. He has one right there with Russell Wilson. I think Wilson will be, will be a player that, it would be somebody. Now that close to home is not accurate because he was from Wisconsin originally, so that's not accurate. But the scheme fit there. It doesn't really bother. It's not the best, but it doesn't really bother him too much. But yeah, I cannot wait to see what he does to players in the especially the quarterbacks there in the AFC West. He is going to look out, Chiefs and Chiefs and Chargers, even the Raiders there. He's gonna murder them. He's gonna have a fun time, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm really hoping that'll be the case here for Sheldon Sherman. Like I said, he is by far one of my favorite players in my Highland Scotties universe for the most part here. Let's continue. Let's continue on. Let's see the Browns here. Browns. Oh yeah, Browns. They picked up Grady Little. If you guys are familiar from him, obviously one of my Highland Scotties players. Second round, first pick there. Deep threat. Oh my god, yes, this guy was just. I mean, I could just lob balls up there to him, and he could just come down with them. It was just that was how good he was, good he is. Now the question is he the same thing in from the Highland Scotties series to this series? We'll have to find out and see. 6'2", he's not the tallest, but he is decent, pretty good. He's pretty decent with 50-50 balls. 210 pounds, 6'2", 6'2". He's coming as a rookie, 77 overall, and his dev trait there. He's a hidden dev, so that's going to be very helpful for for the quarterback there for the Browns. I'm not sure if that's still Watson or not there. But, he is definitely going to be something for that wide receiver core here. I think he's going to be a huge impact for them day one, I believe. I really feel like he's going to be a huge impact for them day one and really make a huge change in the culture there for the Browns. Now, he knows they're a huge underdog. Just take a look there. And, of course, the historical championship, the Browns, not the greatest. At least in this version of the franchise mode, of course. If you guys watched my franchise mode with the Browns from last year's Madden 22 game, we won a Super Bowl that year, and it was a lot of fun. And hopefully someday maybe I'll try to bring back that series, try to play season 2 and get into that a little bit more. But yeah, for the most part here, Grady Little, just by far. I mean, if the quarterback, depending on who the quarterback is, this is going to be your number one target. He's going to help out quite a bit. And like I said, he's one of those players you can develop. I mean, he's got a hidden dev, so means he's going to, once you unlock wherever that hidden dev is, he's going to be very helpful for you down the line for the most part there. Let's see. Emmett Jackson. No, that's not what player I was looking for there. Randy Boyd Graham is another player for the Highland Scotties here. Normal dev, great offensive blue collar worker there. He is definitely a player that again you have to kind of take your time, develop, and just see what he can do for the most part here. Really great player. I really enjoyed him. I think we had him for I think he was there for the first 3 years. I think I had him as a freshman. Because remember, Highland Scotties series, we start off with freshmen and sophomores to start off that season. Because remember, we were a junior college. That was our first year of being a 4-year school. So we had a lot of these players that stuck around for quite a bit and made a name for themselves for a while. And Boyd Graham was one of those great offensive linemen that did some work for us and did a great job. That helped us get some national championship. Obviously helped us with the national championship run that we made the first year. Of course, obviously we didn't win it because played against Alabama. What can you say? Alabama was the team that was still popping and still hot. But we got them back. I think it was back in season 3. We went up against Alabama. And we beat them. We beat them pretty good. So, and if you haven't seen my Highland Scotties series, definitely go check it out, you guys. It's a fun series. I'm still playing it now, and I've been playing it now for almost 10 years now. So, occasionally I get onto it. I play a couple seasons. I have a couple, have episodes come up every so often. Right now we're kind of taking the series on hiatus for a bit. Kind of just seeing, trying to work on some other content here for the channel, especially for this series. Buccaneers, they have a really Ismail Page was another player here for the Highland Scotties series that did really well. Normal dev, 75 overall. He's a future starter, so he's definitely got a player that you can work with. He's with the playoff contender here. Even though Tom Brady in this series has retired, they're still considered a threat here in this one. So we'll see what they can do here. But Ismail Page, if Brady was still here, he'll be a great player for them with him and Brady. They're teaming up in that whole QB and wide receiver combo there. I think it would be very interesting to see how that would work out. But I'm kind of glad Brady's not in the game. He retired there. here for this in this this franchise here. But Trent Epstein, there you see a vertical threat from Arizona State, not part of the Highland Scotties series, just a random player. 73 overall there for his work. But there's let's see what else. Vertical threats. That's a perfect scheme fit for them, so I'm sure that's what they're going to be working on with him for the most majority of his career here. But take a look here at some of his attributes there. Not too bad at all. He was definitely one of the players that was on my radar, a short list of players for the tight end position that we're possibly thinking about going after and trying to, see if we can find a decent tight end to help us out that can play the fullback position. I still haven't decided how we're going to do that yet. I don't know if we're going to. We still have a little bit of money because I still got to sign quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks, but the fullback position, I mean, you can find a fullback. It's kind of a dime in a dozen that you can find one. But like I said, we're probably going to use a tight end for that situation. Another one, Kenron Tolbert. I love. If you guys watch the Highland Scotties series, especially the last couple of years there, the last 2 or 3 years he was with us, Tolbert was yelled all the time. This kid was an amazing player. Another great free safety that was top of his game in college. I believe Tolbert won a couple of awards for this position. There you see a great zone player. There you see, didn't have the greatest speed. I kind of docked him some of that, but I kind of made it up with his tackling because I figured he was, his tackling was decent. It was getting better towards the end of his collegiate career. So I kind of did that more. I kind of made him lose some of his speed there, but he's still great. I mean, he's still good speed. Of course, not so great at man. But zone coverage, he could be worked on there. I kind of want to dock him for that as well. Because like I said, I was trying my best not to make these guys too good. Because, I was trying to knock off at least 20 points off of where they were at. I think he was somewhere getting close, hovering around that 99 area. He was like a 96, 97, I think, by the time he ended his career with us. So, yeah, I try to make it a little, tougher because I didn't want to make it too easy for, obviously, I was not going to go after him because, like I said, I was going to kind of cap myself of, not go after every single player of Highland Scotties, but there was a couple that I did want on my team, and Hunter Cannon was one of them, obviously, because I'm a big Hunter Cannon fan. Take a look here. There's some more players. I don't know all the players they have on here. Curtis Williamson, Jamal Bishop, and like I said, these are just players that are randomly just put on here, ready to be generated by the Madden game itself. Cardinals, like I said, Cardinals obviously got Michael Diggs, great pick for them. I'm very jealous because he is just going to be just a beast for them on the offensive line there. We'll see. They got BJ Sharp, who's a scrambler. Looks like he does not have a tag there, so he's probably gonna be a backup. Kendrick Gold is another player. Golden, I should say, is another player, offensive lineman that did very well for us in the Highland Scotties series. 6'6" overall. We'll take a look here at his ratings here. See what the guys put there. Okay, not bad. Pretty similar to what he had in the Highland Scotties series there, for the most part. But yeah, he was a great player for us. He did a great job blocking. Really did an excellent job protecting our quarterback. Alex Flanagan there. The first 3 years that he was with there. I think he was there all 4 years. I think he played all 4 years for us. So he did a great job there, helping us out and just putting together a great, obviously run for the national championships that we won. Because remember, we didn't win our first national championship until season 2. It wasn't until season 2. I mean, we got to the national championship in our first year, which was by a dumb fluke. But the second year, I mean, that's when we really took off, and from there, we kind of continued running with it. And you know, if you guys remember the series, we had a tough time with our offensive line. I mean, by the time we would get to like the last 4 or 5 games of the season, I mean, our offensive line was like shaky. So we had to really be, you know, I got to the point where I had to start, you know, using a lot of second string guys in there and kind of plugging holes. And it, you know, we had not had a decent offensive line. Probably it wasn't until season 5. So the first 5 seasons, maybe, you know, first couple seasons were really rough. First 3, I know for the fact, the first 3 seasons were rough. You know, we were winning games, but I mean, we had to literally blow out teams. That we had to really run up the score and just kind of you know, our offense did a great job moving the football, but at the same time, I mean, we were getting sacked so much. But you know, Golden, I should say, great player there for them. That was a nice pickup there for them. Lipid, let's see here. Antonio Lipid, okay, BYU. Yeah, no, he was not part of our. Yeah, he was not part of the Highland Scotties series there. Now there are a couple BYU players I will say will be coming up here pretty soon in the draft coming up. I'm hoping that I put it in the description there. But there should be a link to the first year draft of players there, who they are, what awards they won. I'm hoping I put a Google document in there, a link there so you guys can check it out. I'm gonna start doing that when we have draft classes here and show you guys some of the players and the awards like that. So it kind of give you an idea if you're going to use this draft class to kind of plan out like who you want to go after. Because I will say, if you know, obviously if you won awards or you won national championships or were in high profile bowl games, stuff like that, there's a good chance that they'll be probably the superstar, you know, the superstar and X Factor guys for the most part here. But like I said, there will be some trickery to it. There will be some, you know, some underhanding, you know, some evil plots and twists and turns and stuff like that. And like I said, players, you might see some offensive players that are probably better on the defensive side of things, so you might have to make them more of a defensive player, and vice versa. You might see some defensive players that might actually be good offensive players. So there's a lot of twists and turns and craziness stuff in my draft classes, and that's what I want to kind of do to kind of make it more interesting for myself when I'm playing these guys, and just kind of really look and sift through the you know, the craziness that there is of the NFL draft and players that come along part of that draft. So but yeah, that's what you should look forward to, our draft classes here in the future. Now, here we go. Right tackle, Donatello Callaway. This is a player I'm really want to see. I want to see what his hidden dev is, because this kid has some pretty damn good numbers there. Excuse my French there. But, yeah, 73 overall. There you see 6'4", 305 pounds, Florida player. He was not a part of the Highland Scotties series, so this is a computer-generated one. Strength, really good. Great pass blocking. Let's see, run blocking, not the greatest, but needs a little help. But there you see all his other attributes there. We'll take a look at some of his secondary stuff. I really want to see what he is, because this kid, this is one of the players that my buddies were giving me hints about, that he is going to be, I think he's going to be a superstar, or he's going to be an X Factor superstar. I don't know what it is. They won't tell me, but they just kept hinting to me to look out for this player. They gave me some hints of, they were looking at, I told them they wanted me to submit my list of players that I was going after, or like position wise, and they were giving me hints about certain players. And I kept thinking, I'm like, if we can get Donatello Callaway anywhere in the first round, I think he was a first round guy. Yeah, first round. It was projected, I think he was a mid first round, but for whatever reason he dropped down to the bottom half, or the bottom of the first round, going to the second round there. Obviously first round 26th pick or 27th pick. we wasn't going to pick again until the 32nd pick. So he would have definitely been gone. Obviously, he was gone way before we were. But this is one of the hints my buddies gave me. I'm like, what is his, his thing? Like, I want to know, because if he is, I'm going to pick him up. I'll pick him up before we picked up the middle linebacker. And of course, they wouldn't tell me, and they didn't tell me until after we, they literally told me not to right before I did this video. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me! Like, thanks, like, great. Now that the subs here on the channel can now pick him up if they can. But yeah, Donatello Callaway is gonna be a great pickup there for the not Rams, the Chargers there. Randy Gates. Let's see here. What was another player that I was looking? There was some other players. I could be here all day, really. I mean, honestly, guys, this is something I like. I kind of like just want to thumb through and just look at all these players here, and this is almost an hour video as it is. So I'm trying to pick up the pace here a little bit more. Chiefs, they got right in there. Woodward from Cal, 75 overall. So nice pickup there. You got a +1 there, a temporary bonus there for him. 6'5", 214 pounds, 21 years of age. He was not in the Highland Scotties series. I know that for a fact. But take a look here. His motivations. Day 1 starter. Of course, Chiefs were in the playoffs last year. And of course, he likes that he's playing with a franchise quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, who's not. And of course, there you see the winning percentage there for them. They got a great historic winning percentage. So he's in a pretty good place there. We don't play the Chiefs this year, but again, that I'm telling you, if I was and I'm gonna try to show you guys some of this, but for the most part here, I mean, AFC West did a great job. A lot of the AFC West teams did a great job defensively, trying to find some great defense players. I mean, obviously Sheldon Sherman, Woodworth here. We'll see some others coming up here pretty soon as well. What else? Let's look at the Colts. Colts also, like I said, they got Flanagan there. No, that's not the players. Look at that. Aiden Johnson, Florida, right outside linebacker. He had some pretty good numbers there. I can honestly say that he could probably get up to another dev trade pretty quick by the end of the season, and he would be a star dev. And I think that would be a great, spot to be in for the Colts. Take a look at his day 1 starter. So he's gonna get that chance to play, and he's gonna get that chance to get those XP. Pretty good. All you have to do, really, again, train him, get him in that training room, get those, get the extra help and training and stuff like that. But you see his attributes there. I think he's going to have a pretty good future with them. I could definitely see him be a star here, make a good impact in the league, especially a good impact for this team as well. There on the defensive side of things for the Colts there. What else was there? Let's see, Freeman. Yeah, Freeman was another player there I seen looking at, I wasn't looking at running backs there, but from one of my buddies were telling me Alexander Freeman was another player. He has hidden dev there, so we don't know what his dev trade is. But for the most part here, pretty power back, pretty good runner there. Doesn't have the best speed. He's near that 90 mark, but he got great acceleration, ball carrying skills, great. Not elite, but a great there for the most part. Strength as well. He can break some tackles as well. But then you see his secondary stuff. Not really a guy that can catch the ball. He's not a receiving back at all, but he can definitely help you out there in the backfield and get out of the backfield pretty quickly. I think he's future starter. So that's a good set there for them. Like I said, great. I mean, like I said, offensively right now, Colts looking pretty good here in the next 2 to 3 years here in this series. If they can manage these guys pretty well here, I think they're going to make a really good run for that AFC South title. Obviously, because you got Texans that did had some pretty good picks we've seen already here, and then the Jags obviously doing pretty well. They've did well this past season. I mean, came close to getting to the playoffs if I remember correctly. So yeah, I mean, just some really good spots there for them. I'm just trying to remember names that really stuck out. To me, from the draft and some of the players I were looking at when it came to the draft selections, possible draft selections. Some of the ones that my buddies were telling me here. I'm trying to see my paper here. But just kind of going through some of these players here that had some pretty, just kind of look at some of the high overalls here. Terrence Blair, obviously, we already talked about him already. Caleb Jackson, another player there for the halfback. Cowboys, they love their halfbacks. They love their linebackers. They love their wide receivers. 5'11", 200 pounds, 22 years of age. He's from Harvard, so a smart guy. There you see great speed, acceleration, agility. Carrying, not a problem there for him at all. Change of direction is also great. But then, again, just short running stuff. Motivation tag, future starter. So he is definitely, says player will be above similarly trade rate bridge players on the depth chart. So, definitely a guy that could probably go in there if need be, just jump right in there and take over that starting position there for them. But he's an elusive back, so he's going to be a guy that can just really change that backfield and really help you out in the running game, which Cowboys, are kind of accustomed to. Let's see who else. What else was there? I know I'm skipping over. There's some other players I'm skipping over as well. Jarrett Blanco, we already talked about him already, but again, one of those great players that we have, great CBs. I think he came in our second or third year, something like that, with the draft class. This draft class consists of players. I believe this first draft class is mostly players from the first 3 years of Highland, because like I said, we were dealing with a lot of sophomores and sophomores and freshmen. I think more so freshmen than we did sophomores. So for the most part, majority of these players all played all 4 years. No one left early, which was very nice. Of course, we had a lot of red shirt guys as well, because that class, when I created that particular team, it was basically just computer generated from the team builder from the Highland Scotties when I created the team. When team builder used to be up and running, I completely just put it on there. I changed some names there, here and there, but for the most part, when it came to attributes or something like that, I just left it alone. I think we were just a cupcake team, kind of like a middle of the road team. So that's why we did so well that first year, which I was kind of, really an anomaly for us doing that well, and then coming up because we lost by 17 in that game. So I wasn't really expecting us to necessarily win it. I was hoping to at least be someone close, and that's, to me, that's in my book, that was pretty close, because Alabama was like Alabama. They were killing teams in that game. They're on the Heisman level. So, but Blanco 72 speed, great man coverage there as well. Obviously, and then you see his other attributes there as well. Take a look at some of the secondary stuff. Not too bad at all. Did a great job there. Kind of really, I mean, it's pretty close to, a little almost, pretty accurate to what he is, how he was in the game in the Madden or in the NCAA game. So not bad at all there. Tate was another player that was from the Highland Scotties series there. We'll just briefly look at his numbers here. 6'8", right tackle there for us. Again, try to keep his numbers pretty close to what it was when he left, but kind of knock him down on some things there. Some of the stuff I would kind of want him to work on that he wasn't too great at, like impact blocking, pass blocking. He was just, still just having trouble with that for the most part there. But he is definitely a player, like I said, something you can work on. Definitely a player you can work on, help develop, and just do what you can with them while you have them. All right, let's look at, we're not even halfway through the league yet. Isaiah Scarborough. This is another player my friends told me to watch out for. I'm thinking, like, I'm not even going for the right ends. Why do you keep telling, like, they were giving me information, and obviously that's what I wanted them to do anyway, just give me information about players that I had no interest in at all, but still, like, get my curiosity thinking, like, maybe we could go after him. Like, he's probably a decent guy. We can go for the line. But there you see his numbers. Florida State, 6'4", 270 pounds. Again, just kind of like, your scouts and stuff like that tell you, like, hey, you gotta look at this guy here. He's not maybe on our list of players or not one of the positions of need, but somebody we can use, maybe pick it up and use them, for future use. Have him, train him up and get him ready for that, for the future or whatnot. So that's what I told him to do. It's just part of, making me try to think, try to either stay on track or kind of veer off a little bit here and there, and try to make the team better, and maybe make the team better in this area instead of this area. But yeah, I mean, great player, pretty decent numbers there. We'll see what his motivations are. Future starter, so he'll get an increase in his increased bonus during his XP during training weeks there. So that's definitely a player you want to put on your training week, your weekly training, to get that extra XP there. But yeah, he's definitely, I could see him be possibly, he could be a star dev for the most part there. Let's see, Ale Barrow, another player for the Highland Scotties series. He was one of our strong safeties, and he has a hidden dev. Wow, was not expecting that at all. 6'1", 212 pounds, zone archetype there for him. There you see his numbers there. Like I said, we had a lot of great players. I mean, literally when we went to season 4, we literally had to, like, we had to literally we wasn't in, like, a huge, like, rebuild mode, but we were, like, rebuilding. I was trying to rebuild softly. I noticed in season 3 when we were doing recruiting, I'm like, okay, do a soft reboot in this position, or do a soft reboot in this position. Like, I was trying to do soft things, every single year to, kind of bring up more players in. And like the season that we just finished in season 7, I mean, I was sitting there just like, okay, we're going after this kind of player. We got to go after this guy. So we really haven't been in. It's like, just basically we're like, okay, next man up. Like, let's see what you guys can do. Like, we're just trying to bring, next players up and just get them into play. And like I said, there was a lot of times I put in second. Especially if we were blowing out teams, especially in some of the Big 12 games where there's no real, people will always say, oh, there's no defense in Big 12, which, I mean, there's some truth to it. But there was a lot of times in a lot of our non-conference games, if we were just killing guys by as simple as 14, I'm like, okay, let's see. I know in season 3, I'm like, okay, let's bring in some of the was trying to get some of the second string guys in. So I would have literally and I think season 3, I think we had a late start in that. And one of the reasons why is because I was trying to change the players, trying to get them into different formations, try to get them more involved in trying to figure out where they would fit at in certain if they were going to be at a nickel or a dime or whatever. So it took some time to kind of get that stuff set up and get that going for that season. And it's still the same thing now that I'm in 8. You guys going to season 4, 5, 6. 7, and now even going to 8 here coming up here soon. So that's why I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus from it. It's just trying to change things up and just trying to see what players, trying to fit players in and trying to plug them in different areas. Because there's, changes coming, especially in this new season that we're having here. We got a huge, not a huge, rotation and players leaving, but there's going to be a great wave of players, going once we get through season 8. Season 9, there's going to be a lot of players going to be, kind of trying to go pro or leave us from graduation. So I'm trying to make a huge, run at trying to get every single scholarship used, because this past year we had every scholarship almost used, to the point where I had to start, releasing some guys that were just not doing well for us. So, Julius Johnson, receiving halfback here. Again, not a part of the Highland Scotties series, but good pick there for them, for the Eagles. We'll see what pick he was here, but future starter, 70 overall. So yeah, he was a round 4, 24th pick. It's not bad at all. Mark Hort, which we mentioned, Nick McGillen, he's another tight end there that I had on my list. That was going to be a player that I kind of figured, and I figured so much so that he was going to be a project player, which is fine. Like I said, I don't mind working on guys there. I that's what I have. I love developing players like that, especially if this was baseball. Oh my goodness, like developing players and waiting until their ETA was come up. I'm like, and sometimes I would even make them stay extra year. Like, yeah, you're gonna stay here about we're gonna bring you up. We're gonna bring you up this year. We're gonna wait a year. So but I love just shifting guys around, trying to see what we can do, try to keep many players as we can sign and just bring them up when we can and whatnot. But let's see, Elijah Cohen's decent player there for the Falcons. Not too bad there. 49ers. Greg Riddle. Okay, that was another play. That was the other. Yeah, there was another left end I was gonna say that was really he was really good at. I can't remember exactly. I can't think of the name now. There's another defensive tackle that I had my eye on for Missouri. 6'2", 305 pounds there, 22 years of age. He's a speed rusher. Hidden dev there for San Francisco. Literally, because I on this game, I heard that it's pretty good at, you want to make, there's a hidden devs for, you want to at least have every team have the opportunity to have at least one X factor. So there's 32 teams. Plus, I added an extra, I added another extra 7 more. So there's roughly about 40 players that are X Factor Superstar, and then the rest, obviously it's Superstar and then Star Dev and so on and so forth. So I try to fluctuate that. I'll show you guys that here right before we end this video here. But try to fluctuate that every single year. Make the draft classes a little more bearing, and then some like, okay, not so much. We'll add a little more in this. More stars or more whatever from year to year. So next year be a little different. Draft class won't be the same. It'll be a little different. We'll also maybe not have so many X factors, maybe more star devs or more superstar devs or whatever the case may be. Like I said, we'll fluctuate it. We'll kind of tinker around with it. We have a test franchise that I'm working on, that we've been working on for a couple of now, and we're kind of figuring out ways how we can flex it around. So there's not the same amount of X factors or same amount of stars every single year. But yeah, Pierre, looks like he's a day one starter there for 49ers. Let's see here. Dexter Whitmore. This is another player that really, I really had an eye on him as well. He was on my list of linebackers, outside linebackers, 6'4", and of course, obviously, one of my buddies told me this was the one that we had to look at. But he's 6'4", 263 pounds, 23 years of age, rookie from Penn. And there you see his numbers there. Great speed, great acceleration. Needs some help in tackling, hit power. Well, again, just a player that you can develop here, 61 overall. You know, I'm sure he'll be a player that you can take some time. He's going to get some help. He's got a mentor here that can help him there, so that's going to be helpful. So that's going to bring some more XP towards his way to kind of help him out and kind of kind of hold his hand along here for that first year or two in his career. But yeah, Dexter was the one there. He said, yeah, round 7. I think he was at first. I kind of got away from him because I remember seeing him like kind of almost a undrafted free agent. But again, my buddies went in and they changed some stuff around, and when I see him, like, oh wow, like he must have jumped up some because he's now draftable. Of course, I usually get rid of my 6th and 7th round guys, but it was already too late because if I remember correctly, I had my eye on something else, and I was like, okay. And then when I see the name pull up, I'm like, oh wow, like okay. And then obviously my buddy told me after the draft, so like, oh yeah, here's some of the moves some of the players that have X factor and who has star and superstar devs. So like, cool, interesting. Let's see here. Just looking at some more players here. Like I said, this is a first draft class we're doing. When you create your own draft, I mean, even the draft classes in Madden are not perfect at all. There's some, things that happen. Players change. Obviously the game will drop players, take away stuff, or add stuff to a player, or something like that. So it fluctuates just like in real life. Players are expected to go the second round, may drop all the way down to the 4th round because of the simple fact of this, or maybe there's a scandal with bringing them to the team, or maybe that's not what the team needs right now. They figure out, okay, hey, we picked this guy up from free agency. He's going to be a huge person that we can use and kind of fill that gap up for that year or next, or for however long, however long he has left on his contract. So, okay, instead of going after this guy now, he was projected to go this round. Now we're going to say, hey, we're not going to go after him. So his stock might go up or down just based on, what the other two, there might be two or three other teams that want him, and his trade, his stock will go, in a different direction. So, yeah, like I said, it's different. And like I said, that's the fun part about this. I mean, nothing accurate. It's fun. And like I said, I like putting my players in here for my Scotties series. Players that were on the team, per se, mostly for the first 2 or 3 draft classes. There'll be a lot of players. Now, like season 2, this next draft class, we'll have more players from the Highland Scotties team, but we'll also have players that we played against from that particular draft class year. So, and like I say, we'll keep adding more and more players from not just from our team, but from other teams into the draft classes here. Because I do feel like I will say now, let you guys know now that the series will continue even when Madden 24 comes out. We're gonna continue this series even then, because I've already decided. I think I've said this already. I'm not gonna buy Madden 24. I probably won't buy it until late into the year, around the holidays when it's cheaper. Just simple fact because I don't see anything. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything about the new game when it comes to it. So we're just kind of stick with this game and just play on it as long as we can. And then obviously when Maximum Football comes out, then we're going to focus on more on that. So that's the game plan, at least for football wise. When it comes to NFL, Madden or Maximum, that's the game plan going into into the new year, or going from now to probably into the new early 2024. So. But if Madden 24 has maybe a decent career mode, like a single player career mode or something like that we can go into, then I would definitely be open to do something with that. I have some ideas for some players for like a single player career mode that you guys would see on the second channel there. And I do have a second channel. It's ESGNet plus LP, so definitely go check it out. Should be a link down below in the description there. Cheap plugs. But Dalton Schaub, left tackle here from Colorado, 6'4", 314 pounds. Decent player. Got some good numbers there. Looked very draftable there. And again, this is another player that I kept looking at. I kept looking at his numbers, kept wondering, like, like, kept pondering. But then decided, like, no, we're not going to go with it. No, we'll just, but yeah, future starter there. So, because we could have easily, convert him to a right tackle and play him on the right side there and help us out in that sort of way, because that's what we're kind of missing right now. Britton Hutchins, I think it was another one. Yeah, he was another player I was looking at here as well. So not bad at all there. Of course, Jags trying to make some moves here. Let's see this player tag. There's no player tag there. Jamal Hood, one of our guys from the Highland Scotties series there. Oh wow, he went to Jacksonville. 6'2", 171 pounds. 21 years of age, was a young guy, still time, 76 overall. I mean, that's not bad at all. I mean that's great, and he's a normal dev at that. I mean, wow, that's that's something there. And of course, he was picked, I think, bottom of the pack there. Not the best. He are pretty average, pretty good speed there for 95, 93 acceleration. But what is so it's more of a secondary stuff, carrying, stiff arm, breaking tackles, and ball carrying vision there. It's kind of got him hampered and kind of brought him down there. So and spin. So some of those secondary stuff you can work on. Not hard to work on. Get that up some. No player tag there. So yeah. Okay, and he was what, the 7th? Yeah, so okay, yeah. So, yeah, and like I said, he wasn't a huge impact for us. He did play quite a bit there. His last year there, we did put him in, but he was kind of like a 4th, 5th wide receiver for us, if I remember correctly. But when he was out there, he played. I mean, he showed that he was trying to get, when he was out there, we brought him up, brought him off the bench because we had a blowout of some sort or something, or so our player got hurt. I mean, he played. I mean, he was really good. He showed what he was going to do, and he was trying to show that he was, trying to stay on the field as much as he possibly could by making plays for us. So that was, great job there. We already know about the Jets because we already seen, you guys obviously if you've seen the video, the edited version of the draft, you guys seen the Jets and what they've made, moves they made. We already talked about the Lions. Like I said, Lions, they got some pretty good picks here. I mean, look at that, 70, 83, 76. I mean, Hines right there. Normal dev. No one of our other players from the Highland Scotties series. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm not lying. We had great freaking DBs. I mean, oh my God, it freaks me out that we just had so many great talent, and we still got great talent coming through there. Coach Bond's doing such a great job of bringing some great DBs to his program there, and and of course, if you watch the series, some about the ones we have over there already right now. They're just they're sticking around for another year. Unfortunately, we lost one of them because he decided he wanted to go back. I think closer to home, that he's going to Illinois, Northern Illinois, something like that. Unfortunately, he's going to leave. That's Alexander. I'm so upset because Alexander, he was a player that he was an athlete. He could play both sides of the ball, play a wide receiver and a corner. Unfortunately, he got upset because he was wanting more playing time. And the thing is, we've seen this before. If you've seen the series before, he will have playing time. There was another we had a wide receiver like that, or no, it was a linebacker, I think. If he would have stayed that next year, he would have been a starter. And same thing with Alexander. If he would have stayed there, if he would be with us for season 8, he would be one of the 3 wide receivers we would have on our wide receiver core because, I can't think of his name now. Shit. What is his name? Godfrey. Godfrey's leaving, and there's 2 others that are also leaving as well. So, I mean, there's room now for you to take that. You know, you can be a possible. I mean, he was definitely going to be our number 1. Like, he would be wide receiver 1A or 1B because we had another wide receiver that was doing great as well. So, I mean, you're going to start. You're going to have one of those 3 starting positions there. Is it going to be wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2? It's all up to you, what you could, how you do in training and stuff. So, but yeah, fortunately he decided he wanted to leave. And so we tried to convince him to stay, but he didn't want to stay. So, there's not much I can do. I'm not going to, I try to give him, I tell him like, we're going to throw, several you were going to catch this many passes and we're going to try to get him, this many touchdowns for the season. And he just didn't go for it. He didn't buy in. So it's like, okay, well, we'll let you go. I mean, we're not gonna, we got other guys that want us. We got quite a few other wide receivers here, so it's not like we're not gonna be hurting for wide receivers. We got a good wide receiver core. So, but yeah. So, but Hines he's great DB there, great DB. But yeah, these guys did a great job here. Trying to look at their, I mean these first 4 picks right here. I mean that's great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These first 5 picks, great picks there for them. Yeah, they did a great job. Packers, you see some of their guys. I don't see any names that look familiar. But we'll look at their first. We'll look at the first 2 players. Okay, McDonald from UCLA, 6'5". I guess pretty good numbers there. Not bad. Let's see what his motivations are. Day 1 starter. Not bad. And then Barrett, normal dev, 6'7", left tackle. Okay. Panthers. Let's see. Sandridge. Yeah, this is another wide receiver here. My buddies were also telling me about from Wisconsin. Like I said, some of these they've created themselves as well. So, but also too, I told them obviously put my Highland Scotties players in there. And some of the players that we played against in that series, in that first draft class, but also like I said, majority of these players are computer generated. But this one I know for sure is one of the guys they put in here. You see there, 5'10", 185 pounds from Wisconsin, deep threat, wide receiver. There you see his numbers. Wow, 97 speed, 94 acceleration, great catch in traffic. Obviously can run deep routes, but his short and mid routes, something obviously going to be needing worked on. So that's a guy you can throw a deep ball to, and there's a good chance that he'll have it in his hands. Spectacular catch as well. So not bad there for Carolina. I can't remember who their quarterback. It's not Baker Mayfield because I did not have him in here to start off, so I can't remember who their quarterback was when I started this series. There's John there from Emporia. See what he's from our Highland Scotties series as well. Not really a well-known player. He was kind of a second string guy. Didn't play too much in his career there with us. He was in a few games here and there. He really only came in when we had backups. We needed second string guys come in there and play. But take a look at his numbers there. Pretty fair numbers there. Like I said, again, a great player to you can sit there and work with and kind of tinker around with and see what he can see how he trains and whatnot. But let's take a look at his no player tags there. But there you see, not motivation wise, not too much motivated to play at with Carolina. But anything's possible and things could change pretty quickly. So we'll see how his career goes. Patriots, we've already kind of seen already, but we'll kind of go over it again. Denzel Carson. There you see his attributes here. Pretty good numbers there for him. He's pretty successful. He's gonna have a nice time there in New England. And of course, we'll have to deal with him there. He's a day one starter, so he's gonna try to make an impact as quickly as he can with the team. Green. Oh, hidden dev there for him too. 6'4", 306 pounds from LSU. LSU. Agility, agile, all that kind of stuff. Strength. Looks like good strength. Elite blocking, impact blocking as well. Blocking finesse. What else? Injury. Yeah. So not bad at all. Let's see what his motivation tags are. Day one starter. So yeah, not too bad there with his day one starters. Let's see here. Let's take a look at Sheffield. Normal dev. So Tennessee State. Speed, acceleration, 89. Okay. So not bad there. Let's see what his motivation tags are. Day one starter, so he's going to try to come out quickly. He likes being with the Patriots, and he's somewhat decent. He likes the idea with their winning percentage there. But he's definitely a fan of their scheme fit. So yeah, he's definitely going to be somebody that we'll have to wrangle it in our series here with as we're playing as the Buffalo Bills here. Coming up this start of this next season 2. Raiders. Okay, so Raiders. Let's see what they made here. The first pick, obviously, a defensive tackle. Not a hidden dev. He's a normal dev, so he's at a normal dev rate. 6'1", 206 pounds. So Vegas got some nice, decent defensive tackle to start off here. 75 overall. Power rusher from TCU. C93. Strength, power is good. Tackling, player acting, all really good right there to start off. He does have some problems with his block shedding and his finesse moves. And then we'll take a look at his secondary stuff. Agility, not the best, but his pursuit's good. And of course, he stay healthy. He has good injury and good stamina. And of course, great toughness there. So not bad at all. Take a look at his tags, and he's a day one guy. So he definitely, teams are, like it says, teams are unlikely to draft a replacement for him if his progression goes well, he does well, and he plays good throughout the season. He definitely has that chance to be their future starter for the next several years with this team for the next 4 or 5 years. So yeah, looks pretty good. Like I said, I know the other 3 teams did very well defensively picking up players. This one I haven't seen just yet. So let's see, DeMarcus Lamontague. You see 6'5", 227 pounds from West Virginia. He's a little older, 23 years of age. 93 speed. So wow, nice wide receiver numbers there for him. I can't complain about those at all. Not necessarily a deep guy or mid guy, but he's definitely a short route guy. So a lot of probably I could honestly if I had him, he would probably be my guy that would probably be running jet. He looks pretty good enough to do the jet sweeps and stuff like that. Yeah, not bad at all. Let's take a look at his secondary stuff. Oh, okay, maybe not so much. Carrying is kind of carrying not the best. It's kind of average, but yeah, he's pretty good. They got a pretty good wide receiver there. Motivation star, or excuse me, future star or future starter there. So not bad. So just again, kind of work with him, see what he can do, and he likes the idea of working with David Carr. Of course, no income tax there in Nevada, so that is always helpful. Try to take a look at some other players here. Rams, Trey Fuller. No. There was a player here on this team that I was wanting to look at. I can't remember who it was or what position he was. Like I said, I don't have all my notes on me. I have a few. I'm trying to look at my notes right now and see. I really don't want to pull up my computer here. But I may have to. Just showing you guys some of the numbers here for there. Okay, so Jarrett Duke here, hidden dev. I believe they got him around the sixth or seventh round here. Right in. Looks like 6'6", 274 pounds from TCU. He's a power rusher there. So we don't know what his hidden dev is, but I'm sure it's gonna be good. 6'6" overall. Right now, as you see there on the screen. But there you see, I got to work on power moves, his finesse. And then, of course, his block shedding needs worked on. Same thing with agility. Play rec is not there just yet, but I'm sure, again, if you can work with him and get that play rec up, and same thing with awareness, will be helpful. It would definitely show that he's, if you can get those up to, I would say mid 70s, something like that, he's gonna be definitely a good player there that you can have on your field. But right now, just he's still developing. But again, put him in that situation where you can develop players and get them worked on and get those extra XP there from week to week, and that will really help you out. But impact blocking there, not so great. And of course, he likes being in California, so he's got that. LA is a beautiful time all year round. And of course, the historical championship. Of course, they were in the Super Bowl last year. Unfortunately, got beat by us, which is always nice. Started our hopefully that'll be the start of our run for our multiple championships in this series. We'll have to find out and see. You will see. 6 rounds, the 31st pick there for him. Ravens. Ryan Ashley, another one of our Highland Scotties players here. We'll see what he is. He's a hidden dev. Now Ryan Ashley, he was definitely by far one of our core players in that especially that first year when we went to the national championship. He made a huge impact. I wouldn't say it was life-shattering or life-changing for us, but he was one of those players that really went out there and just played to the whistle. He was definitely he was wide receiver. I think he was corner number 2, I think. But occasionally he did play. He was the first, first on the depth chart there for a couple of games for us. I think later on in his collegiate career. But look at his speed, great speed there. Good man-to-man, or decent man-to-man. Could be up some because he did struggle in that somewhat. Zone obviously need to be worked on. But jump, catch, he's really good at catching. He's got a good eye. I remember him being had a really great eye. I could, square him up and then go up and grab the ball there very well. So that was, he's definitely gonna be a good piece. And then of course, Ravens are known for their defense, so this is a perfect fit for him. Ravens bringing, occasionally every so often, a couple of years, they'll have that big regenerate, or what's the word I'm looking for? A jolt, just rebranding their defense, and they just do a great job of that. And I can see that him being kind of a good cornerstone for them. Day one guy, so he could definitely be that playmaker there that can help them kind of help them make that defense great again. Greg Medlock, Michigan, again another player from our series, but 203 pounds, 5'11", rookie from Michigan. He's a elusive back, so we'll see what his numbers are. And ooh, wow, not bad at all. Not as great as the other elusive backs we've seen, but he's definitely up there, and can be probably worked on there and trained pretty well to be a decent halfback there. So looks like here in the next, I would say probably the next 2 to 3 seasons here, we could have some really good halfbacks, a really good market of halfbacks. A lot of teams are gonna have to hold on to them. That's the thing, because they're gonna be, if they play very well, they're winning awards, putting up some really excellent numbers there. They're gonna be wanting that high dollar money. They're gonna be wanting some cash coming their way. And halfbacks, I always tell my friends, halfbacks are one of those players. They are definitely the player on the team. They're always one getting hit, always getting the one getting roughed up. So to me, they need to get paid, and they need to get paid early, and they need to get paid often. Besides the quarterback like that, halfback is the one. He's the one taking the pressure off the quarterback. He's the one, just doing all these multiple things to keep that drive alive and keep the sticks moving. And like I said, he takes the punishment. So, and that's, for halfbacks, they're usually around 5, maybe 6 years. Any more than that, there's something special about them. But they definitely have to do a lot of things on the field to help them, help their team out. So, let's see what else is there. Let's take a look at his player tags here. Day one starter. So, yeah, he's got a pretty good future there with the Ravens. Not bad at all. Look at this last one here for the Ravens. And another hidden dev, Andrew Logan from Clemson. 6'5", 326 pounds. Great rookie there. Archetype, there you see his archetypes there as well. Let's take a look at his ratings here. So not bad at all. As a guard there. Looks like he can run block and pass block pretty well. Looks like his run blocking finesse is a little bit better. Slightly better than his pass block power there. But take a look at everything else: lead block, blocking, impact blocking, and then there is his rest of the stats there, who are pretty reasonable as well. Take a look at his motivations here, his tags. Day one starter, so he can definitely start right off the bat for them and help them out. All right, so we got a few more teams left. We'll keep trucking along here. Jose Jackson, an old dev. From Texas Tech, 6'2", 302 pounds, left guard. So they got a pretty decent left guard here. Let's take a look at his numbers. Not bad. Got to work on that pass block and run block there, which is fine. That's what he's going to be there for the most part, especially if he's a day one starter. But that's something. Even if he wasn't a day one starter, definitely a play. This is definitely a good candidate here to kind of help you, work on your develop your player here, bring him in, see what he can do, and go from there. As secondary attributes here, Not too bad secondary attributes. Some areas game speed not the best, but that's fine. And agility you can work on that. It's still workable. But yeah, for the most part here, it looks pretty solid. Looks pretty good. And of course, we'll look at his tags. Yep, day one starter. So like I said, guy that can go in there, get in there pretty quickly, does a pretty good job. There you see his other motivations there. Not really, don't like really the scheme fit. Doesn't really, no income tax there. He's in Louisiana, so I guess they have a sales tax, income tax there. And of course, the championship history for the Saints. Yeah, not there. Haven't been there for a while there. They had some, obviously had some pretty good runs, trying to get to the playoffs with Drew Brees and stuff like that in the early 2000s and stuff like that. But since then, they have been kind of tough on them. Let's see. Anybody? I don't see any other names. Just curious. Let's go see how, like I said, Seahawks, we already mentioned them already. Terry Wolf. This, like I said, was an anomaly. When we seen this name and we seen where he was from, we just laughed. Like, really? Seriously? Like, this is like, I could think of a player from Kansas that did very well in the pros, and that's that corner, Hakeem Talib or whatever. But yeah, when have we had a decent player from Kansas that was a football player? We cracked up laughing. I'm not a Jayhawk football fan at all, but I had to laugh. I'm like, wow, okay, we're gonna keep him in the series. I want to see what he does. This is gonna be fun. But Reggie Hillhouse, will see his numbers. 75 overall, normal dev, 6'3", 205 pounds. Rookie, man-to-man corner, good speed, man coverage. Not bad, decent, reasonable. Play rec, jump, press, all that. Let's take a look at the others. Yeah, not bad. Pretty decent there. So not bad at all, for the most part. Let's see. And then you got Sidney Roth from Oklahoma. Wide receiver. Oh, okay. Yeah. Here we go. Looking at wide receivers right now. This was a player my buddies were telling me about. Again, giving me this useless information. I'm like, why are you telling me these players? They told me he had a hidden dev, which I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not going after wide receivers. He was not in our. I don't think he was in our line side. Let me look and see here. I think we didn't have a second round, third pick. We could have went after him. We could have. But yeah, like I said, wide receivers wise right now, I feel so good with our wide receivers. We got Diggs, we got Cable, we got so many great wide receivers there. I think maybe next year, actually probably year 3 we'll kind of focus on wide receivers. If not, we'll probably pick up some. I'd rather develop my own, just draft some. But at the same time, if there's some decent ones out there in free agency and we have some money in free agency, we can split, kind of splurge, then I'll go that direction. But I always get caught in that trap of when it comes to wide receivers, and especially wide receivers and halfbacks. I don't know why, but I get in this trip where I need to, collect them all and everything. I'm like, okay, it's not a card collecting at all shots. Like, you're trying to build a team. I get caught in that trap. I'm like, shit. Okay, I got too many of them, and I don't know what to do with them. So, but yeah, we'll definitely have to. That'll be something down the line. But yeah, great player. He has some pretty good numbers there. Looking at Al Brooks here, future starter, tight end there for them. Like I said, I really think the Lions, the Seahawks, and the Browns. I think those are 3 teams I'm really looking forward to in the future. And then the conference, the division I'm looking at the most here coming up is the AFC West. I cannot wait. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun, especially the AFC West defenses. Those are gonna be. I'm really hoping that they will come true. That they'll be a lot of fun, and there's just gonna be a lot of chaos. There's gonna be a lot of close games. because of the defenses that they have out there. I think with the exception, I think all four, but or all of them but one, and be the Raiders, will probably be in that mix there for that. Let's keep going on here. We're almost done. Bailey, Craig Bailey was another guy we were looking at. Okay, don't know much about him, but 6'5", 307 pounds, a rookie from Oregon. Let's see here. Hidden dev. Numbers look pretty good. 74 overall. He would be a 70. Looks like he would be probably a 75 actually. But yeah, pretty good. Just has some problems in his run blocking, his pass blocking. Or I should say run block power. Or even run blocking is a little problematic there. But again, still trainable. Pass blocking as well. Awareness a little low on that end, but could be helped. Then we'll take a look here. Day one starter. So yeah, they got a pretty good fix there. He likes the historical, historical championships from the Steelers. Quarterback, don't really have a franchise quarterback, and of course he's gonna be in the state of Pennsylvania, but he's from Massachusetts, so he's kind of just sitting on it. It's not really bugging him. Not really a deciding factor, but I'm sure he not bad. He's not far from home. Chris Clark. You see some of his numbers there. And this is our second round pick. I was thinking maybe it's the next draft class. One of my buddies was talking about possibly bringing in a couple of Division II guys in the game, which I told him that's fine because there's a lot of Division II schools. You got the Jackrabbits and what maybe thought about it was the North Dakota guy here that's on the Steelers right now. I told him, I would love to see more of those small schools, or schools like even from where I came to school at, was Emporia State, get drafted. Obviously, we're using in this draft class, we're using Emporia State because we don't have Highland, because Highland is way too small, because Highland is actually a junior college, not a D2 school by any size. If you guys watched the very first episode of Highland, I kind of explained the Highland Scotties series. I kind of explained this Highland. It's a JUCO school. It's one of the oldest JUCO schools in the nation. One of the oldest schools in the country. It started off about a couple years after, about a year or two after Kansas was a state. It was the first school in the state. So it's old. It's a 150 years or more. Yeah, because they just spent their 150th not too long ago. So it's a little over 100. It's about close to maybe 160 years old. So it's old school, and back in its day, back in its heyday, it was a for its size of school and the conference they played in. They were pretty talented in football, very, very talented in football. And then I would say in the 90s, they went to another league, and things kind of fell off the table. And then it just, they've had a lot of, I should say when my dad was there, because my dad happened to go there. That's how my parents met. They were pretty decent. They had some pretty good runs there. Coach Allen's been there forever, to the point where he was there when I was going there. And then just recently here, I started working with Highland. Oddly enough, I think I said this in a past video, but Highland, they were watching my videos. Somebody there at the school was watching the videos. They really enjoyed it, and they wanted me to come up there to do some work with them. Kind of pick my brain on some ideas to promote the team, and of course I did play-by-play, or color commentary, play-by-play, whatever you want to call it, for them a couple of times there, and I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind doing it again. But yeah, for the most part, it was a lot of fun. It was a really good experience. I hadn't had that experience since college, and they always told me, like, if I ever want to come back at any time, I can just call them up and they can arrange something. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and like I said, Highland is a very small school. I say that all the time in my videos. Like, this would not happen in real life because Highland is way too small. And a lot of the kids they get are from around the surrounding area. We get quite a few kids from Florida, Georgia, Texas, but a lot of those kids are really good at, like, they're athletes, but they just don't have the maybe the money, or more or less they don't have the grades to get to a D1 school. So a lot of their coaches, or a lot of the big D1 schools, like, hey, go to a JUCO school in Kansas, go there for 2 years, develop your game, get bigger, and then transfer out and come to us. Come back to, if you want to come play at Ohio State or Michigan or wherever, go here and there. Because there's a lot of guys that were kind of just passing through to get to their Division I school, which is, that's kind of how it's set up to be. But Kenny Curtis, take a look here at some of the other guys here. This is one of the players I mentioned in our preview that I was really want to go after, because we could have Kenny Curtis. Actually, we were going to have, if I could have drafted him, I was going to draft him from a right tackle, or from the right guard position to the right tackle, so move him, just move him over one and to more of the interior of the line. But yeah, he got snagged up pretty quick there in the draft, so could not get him. Of course, like I said, always a conundrum, because you have, a lot of times you have a good spot in the draft, and you're like, oh shit, which direction do I go? Like, especially your first pick, you're like, okay, where do I go? Unless you know solidly where you want to go. But usually, your second or third pick, you're like, okay, you still got a couple options left. You're like, okay, oh, do I go after this guy? But oh, wait a minute, we really need this. But oh, having this guy would be really, set up me for this position, and then I can go back and So it's those ones like, okay, what is excuse me, what is the need? What we need here in this situation? And that's always the case here when you're drafting. So no draft is perfect. I think this year for the first draft here for this franchise is fun. It was a lot of fun breaking this down, especially doing stuff like this, just kind of breaking stuff down, kind of look at what we did around the league. Because a lot of times, I know, especially this video is going almost over. Well, now it's over now, 2 hours now. I can't do this in an edited form. It would just be too much going on and too much to talk about. And of course, I would love to do this in a live stream, but I just don't have the time to do a live stream. I figure I do it this way. And of course, my setup for a live stream is not great at all. Like, one, I'm sure a lot of people want to see me on camera, and I don't have a camera. So the camera I did have got stolen. So I couldn't really do stuff on camera per se. But yeah, maybe this next one we'll try to do more stuff on camera and more like a live stream wise. I think I would enjoy it, and I think a lot of you guys would enjoy it as well. So if you're still watching here in this video, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, again, leave a like if you guys like this, and of course, if you guys want to see more of this type of stuff, I will do it. I will gladly stop, in the season, kind of look at players. If you guys would give me an idea of what teams you want me to showcase, or players, stuff like that, I will definitely do it, and I will have it as a, I'll fit it as a video, as a, I'll leave a link, and it'll be a video that it'll be unlisted that you guys can watch on your own time and stuff like that. I would love to do stuff. I really want to do more stuff like that, especially with baseball season going on right now, and do more stuff in that side of the, you know, because baseball, I mean, oh my, baseball, we can be here all night. I love, that's my sport right there. Take a look here at Floyd Merritt. There you see, don't know what his depth trade is yet, but 6'2", 306 pounds, rookie from Penn State. Looks like he is a power rusher. And then you see his stats for the Titans. So Titans got a good pick here for a first round guy. And he's also a day one starter there. And then we go on to, let's see here, their second round guy, 20th pick, Tyler Paulson, Florida, 6'3", 215. You see his numbers there. So not bad, not bad. Guy you can work on, day one guy. Guy you can, you know, kind of help out with, help him out, and get him, you know, kind of worked on. Jonathan Townsend, tight end there, from Clemson, 6'6", 266 pounds, 22 years of age, possession receiver, so he's going to be a guy that can go pretty much any direction you need him to go to, and he can make a good, solid catch there. He's also pretty decent. Looks like 72 over is overall there in the vertical threat. So he could be, you know, it's more of a scheme fit for them, I guess, for the vertical threat. So I'm sure that's part of the direction I'll probably go into. But, you know, he looks like he's got a pretty good, looks pretty solid there, 71 overall, or 72, you know, give or take the, you know, his bonuses there. But yeah, he looks like he's got a good future for him, and you know, good tight ends there for a lot of these players. So not bad at all. That pick there, third round, 20th pick here for them. So like I said, the draft here this year, for the first draft, like I said, I try to make it fun. Try to make it something that all teams can have at least a chance to have a couple of good players here. Now, like I said, it won't happen all the time, because a lot of times a lot of drafts like next year, we'll sprinkle a couple good players in there, and then the rest will be just, you know, some players that it will just mainly a lot of, you know, like I said, a lot of these players will be computer generated. We'll add just names from players from our series that we had. But for the most part here, yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid. You know, I think it was a good draft for everybody. I think everybody enjoyed it for the most. I think a lot of teams got what they were looking for. Here's a player that I was really wanting here so bad, because my buddies are kind of just, they're like, man, I wouldn't mind drafting him. This is a player they created. Leo McBath, I should say, 6'2", 300 pounds, 23 years of age, from Wisconsin. 73 overall. What was his draft pick again? He was the first round 12th pick. Well, not him. Second round 12th pick. So we could have got him. We could have. I mean, I think in the video, in the draft video, the edited one, I was really talking about drafting him, but you know, I decided like, oh, that might be too far of a reach, and well, damn it, I missed out, because he got a hidden dev, and I'm reading right now. Oh yeah, I should have went for him, because he is an X Factor. Yeah, he's an X Factor hidden dev, so I do know that. That was one of the things my buddies gave. They gave me a list after we got done drafting, and they saved this and the backup save for it. So can't redraft, but if we could, I definitely would go after him now that I know that he is going to be an X Factor superstar. So Vikings got a good player here. You know, he's gonna wreak havoc there in the black and blue, as they used to call it back in the day. Tells you how old I am. Division in the NFC North. So if Aaron Rodgers is still there, this is the guy who's going to try to murder you. He's going to try to do his best to get to that offensive line and just try to rip and tear you apart there at the U.S. Bank Stadium or in Green Bay, whichever. But take a look at his ratings here. Went too far there. 81 tackle, 87 strength there. So 77 speed, acceleration, 83. And then of course there you see his secondary attributes as well. Great pursuit. So he's definitely he can definitely chase you. Hit power, and of course injury. He's not injury prone, so that is always good. And then of course, day one starter, definitely can get a spot on this team. He's drafted and whatnot. So yeah, nice pick there from them. Jace Denmark. This was a guy that I actually drafted in and it just kind of we did 10 drafts, 10 files of drafting of this draft class, just kind of see where we would land at. And this is one of the players that when I looked at him, like, oh wow, he's really good. And he actually was projected to be a pretty decent player. He's a right guard. We'll take a look at his now. Obviously, things can change because I've already seen him already in a future some here when we did our draft of those, kind of seeing where these players go off to and how to develop them, stuff like that. Because like I said, things can change over time. But we did 10 different drafts, and I picked them up a couple of times. And the one draft that we kind of stuck with, we're like, okay, this will be the draft that we'll kind of just see what he does the next couple of years. So we kind of did some simming, and he did pretty well. He had a pretty good numbers there, and he had a pretty good for the first couple of his first contract with this team, with the team that he was on. He did pretty well in all of those. So yeah, Vikings again got a good player here, good strength. Got to work on that pass block power, and of course pass block finesse. But yeah, I mean he's got pretty good numbers. He's got pretty good talent, and of course he's a day one guy. So yeah, Minnesota. He's not big market Minnesota. Not really a big fan of it, but he can deal with it. The weather. You're not gonna get no cold. You're not gonna get no warm weather in Minnesota at all. Maybe during the summer, but for the most part, it is cold, especially during the football season. So, yeah, he's gonna have to get a parka and just deal with it. There in Minnesota during the football season, just chuck it up and just deal with it. But yeah, pretty much that is it for this draft, you guys. Again. I know this was a long one. I kind of figured it was going to be a little close to an hour or a little over an hour. It's almost 3 hours now. Hopefully, if you have stick around here, thank you so much for watching this. But like I said, I can do more stuff like this. If you guys want to see stuff like this for the season, I can do it because I have more time here, especially during the summer. But I think I'm going to try my best, trying to get something set up here for a live stream, even without a camera, maybe somewhere down the line in the future here, in the close near future, once we go into once we finish season 2 up here, go into season 3 and go into the second draft of this franchise. Maybe we'll do this in a live stream version, so you guys can see the players and reactions like that in real time. But this is kind of like a live comm version of this. Like I said, we can do a live stream version if you guys are interested in it. But if you have joined us from the very beginning, thank you guys so much. If you're just coming in now, or you kind of flash forward here or something, you missed quite a bit. But for the most part here, it was fun, and I enjoyed talking about this. And Like I said, we can do something like this in the future. But I think, like I said, I think there's some really good teams. I got some really good pickups. I think AFC West defense is gonna be fun. I cannot wait to see what those quarterbacks have to deal with. Russell, Mahomes, and what's the name in Los Angeles? They're with the Chargers. They're gonna have to deal with a lot. But yeah. And like I said, the Lions gonna be has some really good picks. Seattle has some really good guys there they picked up, and the Cardinals, and of course, obviously us. I feel like we have a really good shot at, maybe I would say yes, Super Bowl again. We're gonna run it back. Ideally, in my head, yes, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna do that. But I think in reality, it's gonna be a rough go. Defense is gonna be really tough. Hopefully, that will not be the case. I hope we surprise. The series. I hope we get a big surprise in the series in a good way. And I just hope we keep growing. And I hope our defense is just excels. I hope we just I would say blow out teams, but I think and ideally just be able to just do well, get by, and just do enough to get by and win games, and just have a really successful season, and then try to get in the playoffs and see if we can get in the playoffs. But I think our defense is going to be it's going to be a problem for us because we have a lot of players on that side of the ball. They're going to be brand new, and they're going to be tested quite a bit. So, and we'll see if we can pass those tests coming up here in the near future. So, but again, thank you guys for joining us for the draft recap. Like I said, the only way you would know about this video is you clicked on the video from the draft class or the draft edited version of it. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Buffalo Bills franchise here on the channel. Like I said, I've been enjoying this series. Like I said, we're going to play this series for quite a bit. I want to try to go at least 5 seasons before I start to wrap it up. And we're going to try to get through a lot this summer here. Just with my vacation, coming back from vacation, and just trying to get back in the swing of things. It's been rough. So I had too much fun on my vacation when I went to Las Vegas. I had way too much fun. So, but again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on the channel. As always, Bills Mafia, go strong, keep fighting, and I will see you all next time. Bye.
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.